Us married people love giving advice to young married couples or even just other married couples. Unfortunately, some of the advice that we give is not the best advice. I don't even claim to give the best advice. All I'm trying to do is just help somebody if it resonates with them. And some couples even still follow this bad advice. And then they wonder why things haven't worked or why they're not working now. And in this video, I want to talk about some of the bad marriage advice that's out there today. What's good, y'all? Tasha here. Welcome back to the channel. And on this channel, I give marriage advice to those going through a separation because I have been there. I understand how it feels and I just want to help you. So getting into this bad advice. 1, marriage is easy when you find the one. Honestly, I do say that my husband is my soulmate, but really there is no such thing as the one, or even really soulmate for that matter. I do know what people mean when they say this. What they're talking about is that connection the two of you may have. It almost seems godly or deeply spiritual, even maybe otherworldly. I know some of you are definitely going to disagree with me on this, but I believe that God didn't necessarily choose our mate. I believe that God gives us the free will to choose our mate. And I say this because why would God choose for you to be with someone who's not true to you? Some people may say, well, when I met my spouse, it was like a divine experience. If that's the way that you feel, that's the way that you feel. But again, if he chose our spouses, there wouldn't be so many people getting divorced. But then in the same token, people will use God in the Bible to say, well, God told me to get a divorce and they are not the one that he chose for us. And I do believe in God. I am a person of faith, but I also believe in free will. And like I said, I believe we choose who we marry and we choose to work on that marriage. So if you truly do believe that God brought you this person, why wouldn't God want you to keep this person? 2, arguing is a sign as a bad marriage. Every couple goes through conflicts and frustrations. I don't care who you are. Sometimes when we let our emotions take over, it can lead to arguments. The sign of a healthy marriage isn't the absence of conflict, but it's the way you both handle that conflict. How do you handle your differences? Find a way to use this disagreement to better understand each other and reconnect. My husband and I, we got to a point in our marriage where if him and I now have a disagreement, we hear each other out. We listen to what the other person has to say, and then we come to a conclusion together. Sometimes if we can't agree on something, I will normally tell my husband, babe, go ahead and you make the decision, because I do trust his judgment. And it could be something that even though I'm disagreeing, I'm not seeing. And if there's something that we just have to hash out to come to a decision, then we hash it out until we can come to a conclusion. Number 3, never go to bed angry. I know I discussed this on one of my other videos or a couple of my other videos, and this is advice that I still hear today. There are things that you're just not going to be able to resolve in one night. So I feel like what they're saying is like you're supposed to just stay up all night, knowing you got to go to work in the morning, just because you were told to never go to bed angry. And honestly, if it's something that can't be resolved in one night, you shouldn't try to resolve it. Because if you don't go to bed, both of you are going to be emotional, angry, tired, and probably at some point delirious. And you're still not going to be able to fix that thing. But you want to make sure that you're rested, because when you're rested, you'll be able to make clear and better decisions. And you might be able to look at the situation now with a clear head and clear eyes. 4, look for someone who completes you. I absolutely hate this saying. Okay. My mom always said that hate is a strong word, so don't use hate. But I strongly dislike this saying. No one can complete you. You are not half of a person. I think I said this in my last video. Marriage is about connection and commitment. When you get married, you make a commitment to somebody. So find someone that you can connect with and who complements you, not complete you. 5, marriage is about being happy. I'm sorry, I couldn't hold in my laugh. If this was the case, no one would be in an unhappy marriage. If you've got married just to be happy, you've already lost the battle. I believe marriage can be used as a way to make us better people. Hear me out. For example, my husband makes me a better person, and he makes me want to be a better person. Because the way my husband interacts with people, how he is at home, his integrity, it makes me be like, dang, so many people love my husband. How can I be like that? How can I be at least 20% of that or 50% of that? I can be nicer, understanding, and lead with love. So be with someone that you can learn from, someone who you can grow with, be better with, and for. 6, in a good marriage, romance and passion will always be there. There's going to be peaks and valleys in every relationship. There are going to be days you're going to feel romantic and days you're not. Of course, in the beginning of any relationship, the romance and the passion is there. It seems like it never goes away. But as time goes on and you add in life, then you might add in kids, then you might add in bills and your job. Sometimes romance can end up going to the wayside. And I'm not saying that it's right, but it happens. So you got to actively pursue passion and romance in your marriage. And if you wait for it, you can be waiting a long time. 7, the key to a successful marriage is to love and be loved. Okay, yes, you should love your spouse and your spouse should love you, but marriage should not be based on just love either. And you shouldn't try to make your spouse love you. There's respect, there's trust, there's openness, and so on. The key is to love yourself so you even know how to love. And in turn, that person will know how to love you. Also, don't think that just because you're in love that you already know your spouse. I learn and get to know my spouse almost every day. I don't always know what he's thinking. We're not together 24/7. And even if we were together for 24/7, I'm not a mind reader. We've been together for 17 years. And you have to keep finding out who your spouse is. Be curious about your spouse's love language and how they feel loved. 8, put your family first. Yes, family is important, but you can't give anyone something you don't have. Sacrificing to put yourself last is not a good idea. You have to have your cup filled in order to be able to share with someone else. You need time to be able to recharge yourself spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and physically. If you're not okay, your family's not going to be okay. So take care of yourself first and then take care of everyone else. 9, divorce is always an option. If you go into a marriage already thinking about divorce, don't get married. Marriage is a commitment, and too many people use divorce as an easy way out. So I want to ask you guys a question before I finish this bad advice. What is the worst advice you've ever heard? Comment below. And if you've gotten this far in the video, go ahead and use that press on to press on the like button. 10, stay for the kids. I don't know who came up with this hogwash. You should never stay in any relationship for the kids. Believe it or not, your kids know when something is going on. They may not know how to say it. They may not even say it to you, but they can feel it. They know. And also, what are you teaching your children? You're teaching them to put everything before their own well-being. That if they're in a bad situation, they should still stay. I would rather be happy, have peace of mind, and make sure my kids know that I love them than to struggle in a marriage just because it's convenient. 11, love conquers all. No, it doesn't. If that was the case, there would be no war, no heartache, no pain, no hate. Conflicts cannot be resolved by love, no matter what your favorite song says. It doesn't matter how much you love someone. If they refuse to love you back or show you how much they love you, the marriage is going to fall apart. 12, a child can save a marriage. Boy, oh boy. I'm sure you might have known someone that might have had a child thinking that this child will fix things. But what happened to the relationship? The two people normally broke up anyway. And now, this child that you thought was going to save your relationship, you're now a single parent. In the beginning of my marriage, me and my ex-husband actually had a lot of issues. And I really did think that once I had my son, that it would probably fix our marriage. I was naive to think that. 6 months after my son was born, we were separated. And honestly, if it wasn't for my family, there is no telling how my son would have grown up. And I believe that this is one of the reasons why there are so many people out there with mommy and daddy issues. Because some of us, we have kids thinking that it will keep that person with us. And sadly, the last person that we actually think about is what this will do to our child and how this will affect them as adults. Because all we're thinking about is trying to keep our partner. So what do you guys think about the pics? This video wasn't meant to be really taken seriously, but I really hope it still helped you. I may end up doing a my best marriage advice video. I don't know, we'll see. But you guys know what to do. And remember, Love yourself, adore yourself, and always be yourself. And thank you guys. And I hope to see you in the next video.